years, our awards were created by Phyllis Ann McMillan, a member of the Mississippi Band of Choctaw Indians. Ms. McMillan is the Cultural Affairs Coordinator for the Mississippi Band of Choctaw Indians, and she serves as a tradition bearer for her community, helping preserve Choctaw cultural heritage and passing it on to subsequent generations. Among those traditions is beading. Ms. McMillan hand-beaded each of the medallions on the awards that we present tonight. The medallions were created in the style worn by both men and women in the Choctaw culture for ceremonial events. In addition to beading, Ms. McMillan enjoys sharing her native language, her history, and her culture. She is a dance group coordinator for the Choctaw traditional social dancers, whose costumes often include beaded medallions like those that are on the awards that we're going to present tonight. Ms. McMillan is a mother of 4 children, 14 grandchildren, and 7 great-grandchildren. She resides in Edinburgh near the Pearl River community and has worked for the Mississippi Band of Choctaw Indians for 39 years in various positions. Please help me recognize Ms. McMillan for her contributions to preserving Mississippi culture. And now, please turn your attention to the screen for the presentation of our awards.
The Humanities Educator Award recognizes an individual who reaches beyond the traditional classroom to create opportunities to share the disciplines and values of the humanities with the larger community. Tonight, we recognize Dr. Tammy Greer, Associate Professor in the School of Psychology at the University of Southern Mississippi. Dr. Greer leads the Center for American Indian Research and Studies at USM, promoting indigenous cultures and history. Her effort extends beyond academia, organizing events like the Southern Miss Powwow and directing numerous Mhc grant-funded projects. Through her work, Dr. Greer bridges academic research with community engagement, making significant contributions to health disparities research in partnership with regional, tribes, and federal agencies. Congratulations, Dr. Tammy Greer.
I'm just one person, and you see all that activity that's going on at Southern Miss, and that's just a small part of what's going on. So I want to tell you that, first off, the Center for American Indian Research and Studies wouldn't be around if it weren't for Sonia Monk, and she's sitting in the audience tonight. And that native plant, Medicine Mill Garden, wouldn't have native plants if it weren't for Mara Willis, and she's sitting in the audience tonight. And those activities that you saw, one of them that we had that the Mississippi Humanities funded was a cordage workshop, and that wouldn't have happened, nor would I have experience doing dyes and going to Minnesota to do a dye workshop pretty soon if it weren't for Jeanette Stone, and she's sitting in the audience. And just recently, most recently, I've had this dream of bringing back, basically what we're doing is bringing back, waking up our cultural traditions that have fallen asleep. And fallen asleep because they've been given shots in the arm of sleeping medicine because people did not want to see our culture and did not want to have us practicing our culture. And so we've been waking those cultural traditions up. And one of those traditions is mound building. And I have a friend here, Monique Verdin, sitting in the audience, who has been listening to me talk about mound building and how we need to wake that cultural tradition up for the youth, for all of us really. And she found some money recently, and we built a mound in New Orleans on the Lafitte Greenway just recently because of Monique Verdin. a lot of work, and we have a minor in Indian Studies as well, and that I couldn't do all by myself, but Jeannie Gillespie helps me out, and she's sitting in the audience. So you think there's one person who does a lot, but really there's a lot of people who do a lot, and I kind of just, take the credit, obviously, for it. And I want to call out a shout out to these students who are with me. We have some youth here, Khalik and Catherine, and the leader of the Golden Eagles Intertribal Society, the student group, and John, who leads the stickball team on the Southern Miss campus. And I want to tell you guys, somebody's going to have to do this work. I want you to think about that. Get serious about it, because you're going to be the ones who are going to be doing this work. It's a lot of work, but there's 4 of you sitting there, and you see all these people who will support you in that. Because waking up a culture takes a lot of work. Putting a culture to sleep takes a shot in the arm and a lot of work, and waking it up takes even more work. And we natives are only 2% of the population. So it's a lot of work on all of us. These 4 have to work like 20 people to get that work done. I appreciate the Mississippi Humanities Council for seeing us and for helping us with this work and for making sure that this work is getting done. Every time I've asked for money, literally, I've gotten some money to do the work. Now, I'm not, right, but let me just say it like that. And I appreciate you guys for supporting the Mississippi Humanities Council. Thank you so much.
The Humanities Scholar Award recognizes